morning, students. Once again, after a short break, I'm happy to meet all of you virtually. Last session, we have taken up a two-stage growth model. Then we looked at a case study, and then we have calculated weighted average cost of capital, and then for the high growth period and stable growth period, and then we calculated free cash flow, which is an important component in computing the value of a company. And then we are in the last stage, last step in computing the value of a company, that is the present value of cash inflow during high growth period and present value of cash inflow during the stable growth period. So first two steps we have completed in the previous lecture, and today we look at the last step, that is the computation of the present value of cash inflow during the high growth period and the present value of cash flow during the stable growth period, and aggregate sum of both, which will give us the value of a company. So we are the last step. So step 3, so kindly write step 3. Step 3, the value of a company. Value of, the name of the company is, 1 minute, the name of the company is, that is
Elegant Sleep, sir.
Elegant Sleep, yeah. Value of Elegant Sleep, okay. That is present value of cash flow, FCF, present value of FCF during the high growth period, present value of free cash flow during high growth period, plus present value of FCF during the stable growth period, Okay, present value of FCF during high growth period plus present value of FCF during stable growth period. So add both, that will give us the value of a company. Now, so FCF we have calculated in the first step. The second step, we have calculated the weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital for high growth period and weighted average cost of capital for stable growth period. So the FCF, some of you can tell me the figure? FCF for the first year? FCF for the first year? How much? FCF for the first year? FCF for the first year? 11.2. 11.2 divided by the weighted average cost of capital we have calculated for the high growth period. How much? What's the figure? Weighted average cost of capital for high growth period. How much is the value? How much is the value? 13.4 or
14.14.
14.14. So divide by 1.14, 14.14. 14.14. So 1.1414 power 1. 11.2. So 11.2 is the value of cash flow, present value cash flow, and we need to calculate the present value. So present value means you should divide it with the weighted average cost of capital, that is 1 plus R. 1 plus R. R is 14.14. So 14.14 divided by 100. So that will give us 1.14. 1.1414. 14.14 divided by 100. Okay, so for there is 0.1414. So 1 plus 0.1414, 1.1414. Okay, then second year, how much? Second year cash flow?
13.44.
13.44. 13.44 divided by 1.1414 power 2 plus third year
16.13.
16.13 divided by 1.1414 power 3 plus fourth year
19.35.
19.35 divided by 1.1414 power 4. Fifth year, fifth year, fifth year, how much? Fifth year cash flow, FCF?
That is the residual value, sir.
Only 4 year, huh? Only 4 years period, no? Okay, then correct. So 4 years, correct. Then present value of FCF during stable growth period, that is the residual value. Fifth year onwards. Fifth year onwards, what is the value? So kindly listen. First we need to calculate the residual value. That's what we call it, the continuing value. We need to compute the continuing value first. Okay? So continuing value, as it was discussed earlier, that is the present value of the cash flow during, stable growth period, that is fifth year onwards, divide by WACC minus G. WACC minus G. That is, what is the future cash flow during the fifth year? How much we calculated? Future cash flow? Future FCF, fifth year, how much we calculated? Fifth year cash flow, how much?
272.89.
272.89. 272.89 divide by, please listen, we need to compute first the continuing value.
The part of the board is not seen.
That part of the board, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll bring it here. I'll bring it here. Plus 272.89 divide by WACC minus G. WACC minus G. The WACC for stable growth period, how much? WACC for the stable growth period, how much we calculated?
Sir, can you just turn the laptop to a little bit left side, sir?
Is it okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Fine? Okay. Should I bring it a little more this side? Little more front? Okay, is it fine?
Fine.
Fine, okay. Yeah, so 272.89 is the future cash flow for a fifth year. Divide by WACC minus G. What is WACC for the high stable growth period? How much we get? How much we get? 14 point? What's the value?
13.55.
14.55. So
13.55, sir.
13.55. So 0.1355. 13.55, that is 13.55 divided by 100, that is 0.1355 minus G. G is 0.1, growth rate is 0.1. Growth rate is 0.1. So this is called the continuing value. So continuing value is the future cash flow for the high growth period. That is fifth year onwards, 272.89 divided by WACC minus G. So that will give us the continuing value. Now we need to compute the present value of cash flow. Present value of cash flow, that is divide by, please don't take the 14, please don't take the stable growth period weighted average cost of capital, high growth period weighted average cost of capital, that is 1.1414 par 4. Okay. So that will give us the present value of continuing value. Present value of continuing value, because we need to divide it. So kindly first you get the answer for 272.89 divided by 0.1355 minus 1 minus 0.1, get that value, then divide it by 1.1414 par 4. So that will give us the present value of future cash flow during stable growth period. I repeat, we need to calculate the present value of future cash flow during first phase and during the second phase. The first phase is called high growth phase. So during the high growth phase, the future cash flow we have computed the first step and divide it by the weighted average cost of capital, that is 1 plus R, that is 1.1414 for all the 4 years. If it is for 5 years, you calculate for 5 years. If it is for 6 years, calculate for 6 years. So it depends on the case. And then calculate for the second phase. The second phase is the constant growth phase, stable growth phase. So in that case, the future cash flow is constant forever. Future cash flow is forever, it's a constant. So we need to calculate, we need to give a full stop. We need to give some kind of, value we need to calculate. So that value is called continuing value. Continuing value. So how do we get continuing value? The future cash flow during the 5th year, onwards. If it is a 3 years, 4th year onwards. If it is 5th year, 5-year high growth period, 6th year onwards. So that future cash flow divided by WACC minus G. WACC minus G. So WACC for stable growth period is 0.1355. The growth rate is 10%, that is 0.1. So that will give us the continuing value. Then calculate the present value of continuing value. So divide it. Again you divide it. Divide it by 1.14 per 4 for 4 years. So add both. That will give us the value of a company. Any clarification? So you can calculate now. So any clarification, anybody? Any doubts, anybody? What is first value? 11.2 divided by 1.1414 power 1. First one. First one, what's the value? First value, how much comes? 11.2 divided by 1.1414. How much it comes?
9.8.
9.81. 9.81 plus second one.
So can you tilt your camera a little bit to the other side of the board, so it's not, we can't see the lines.
What I have to do?
Sir, your left side we cannot see some properly. But can you tilt the camera a little bit? Because when you right towards the...
Camera little.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Camera little. Camera now?
Yes, sir, camera.
Yeah. Little this side. Little.
Sir, your laptop, sir.
Laptop, huh?
Yeah, that's all.
It's okay? Now it's okay?
Little bit more, sir.
Little bit more? It's okay?
Yes, sir, now it's visible.
Visible? Okay.
Yes.
It's fine, no?
Yes, sir, fine. Sir.
Yeah. It's fine? Okay. So 11.2 divided by 1.14 power 1. How much comes? How much it comes? 9.81. Okay. Next one, 13.44 divided by 1.1414 part 2. How much it comes? What's the value?
10.31.
10.31 plus 16.13 divided by 1.1414 part 3.
8.84.
10.84 plus 19.35 divided by 1.1414 par 4. How much comes? Fourth one. Fourth one, how much comes?
So 11.40.
11.40. 11.40. So 9.81 plus 10.31 plus 10.84 plus 11.40. Okay. Plus the present value of cash flow during the stable growth period 272.89 divided by 13.0.1355 minus 0.1. How much comes? First you calculate that 272.89 divided by 0.1355 minus 0.1. How much comes? How much comes? What's the value? Two 70.89 divided by 0.1355 minus 0.1. What's the value?
Sir, I'm getting it in thousands.
Hmm?
I'm getting it in thousands.
Yeah, no problem. Get that value. What's the value?
7,687.
Okay, 7,000.
687.
7,687.04 divided by 1.1414 power 4. Divide by 1.1414 power 4. Okay. 7687.04. Kindly check. Somebody can check that answer. 768. Correct. So 7687.04 divided by 1.1414 power 4. How much comes?
So 4,529.05.
4,000.
529.05.
Okay. So add this 9.81. The first one you can add it.
So that is 42.36.
42.36.
36.
No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 42.36. 42.36 plus 4,000. What is that value?
529.05.
4,000.
529.04.
4,529.04. Correct?
05, sir, 05.
05. Add both. Aggregate of both. So 4,529.05 plus 42.36. Add both. That will give us
4,571.41.
4,571 point. 4,571.41. 41 million. That is the value of the company. 4,571.41 million. That is the value of the company. Any clarification? Anybody? Any doubt? Anybody? All of you understood? Is that clear? All of you clear? Merlin, understood? Hello? Understood? You understood all the steps?
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly the previous steps, but yeah, almost.
Okay. Because the entire case we cannot solve in 1 hour lecture. We need to have a break. Because it's a lengthy case. Nevin, kindly practice the same case. You will understand. Nevin, did you understand? Nevin Jose. Any clarification, anybody? Any doubt, anybody? Any clarification, any doubt, anybody? Can we go to the next one? Next case. Anybody? All of you understood? Shall we go to the next case? Second case. Two-stage growth model.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll go to one more case. Then we'll go to the three-stage model. So look at this. Super incorporation is expected to grow at a high rate for 4 years. Thereafter, the growth rate will fall and stabilize at a lower level. The following information is available. Revenue is given, EBIT is given, capital expenditure is given, depreciation is given, working capital as a percentage of revenue is given, corporate tax rate is given, paid up capital is given, market value of debt is given, there is 600 million. Then input for the high growth period, that is 4 years is the high growth period. The growth rate is 20%, working capital as percentage of revenue is 25%, cost of debt is 15%, cost of debt equity ratio is 1.5:1, risk-free rate is 11, market risk premium, that is the difference between market return and risk-free return is 6%, equity beta is 1.25, and the input for the stable growth period, growth rate is 10%, working capital percentage of revenue is 20%, no, not 20%, it is 25%, okay? It is 25% because previous one is 25%, it must be 25%. Then cost of debt is 14%, debt equity ratio is 1:1, risk-free rate is 11%, market risk premium is 6%, equity beta is 1, capital expenditures are offset by the depreciation. There is no change in capital expenditure during the stable growth period. So first you calculate the weighted average cost of capital during a stable growth period and high growth period, and then calculate the FCF. We'll try to complete. Yeah. So first you calculate the weighted average cost of capital, WACC. All of you can see that? All of you can read that? Is it okay? Is it readable for all of you? All of you, it's readable? Hello? Is it readable for all of you? Stable growth period. In step 2, we are calculating step 2, WACC during high growth period. WACC during high growth period. So, what is the debt equity ratio? The debt equity ratio is 1.5:1, and the cost of debt is 15%. Please listen, cost of debt, nothing is given. It is nothing is given, pre-tax or post-tax is nothing is given. If nothing is given, you can assume as cost of debt. So you can assume as the, pre-tax. It depends on your assumption. You can assume. If you want to assume as a post-tax, you can assume as a post-tax. In such case, the answer will be different because the case study is based on the assumption that we make. Case study is based on the assumption that we make. So if you want to assume as a pre-tax, you need to deduct the tax rate. You need to calculate the post-tax. If you assume as a post-tax, straight away you can take cost of debt as a 15%, and straight away you can calculate the debt, the weighted average cost of capital. So we will assume as here, pre-tax. Why I am assuming pre-tax? Because 15% cost of debt is little higher, so it will be a cost of debt pre-tax. It is not a post-tax. Okay. So cost of debt assumed as pre-tax, that is 15%. So cost of debt post-tax 15% into 1 minus t. 1 minus t is tax rate how much? tax rate is 35%. So 1 minus 0.35. 1 minus 0.35. So 15 into 0.65. How much? Hello? 15% into 0.65. How much comes?
9.75%.
9.75%. Then cost of equity. Cost of equity we need to calculate as per the CAPM model, SML. RF plus beta into RM minus RF, that is a risk premium. RF is risk-free rate is 11%. 11%. Equity beta is 1.25. 1.25. RM minus RF is given, that is 6% is given. 6%. So 11 plus 1.25 into 6. How much comes? 11% into 1.25 into 6. How much comes? 1.25 into 6.
18.5.
18.5. 18.5. So debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio is 1.5 is to 1. 1.5 is to 1. So debt is more. So since it's a high growth period, so during high growth period, the company can employ more debt because there is an increase in revenue, increase in profit. The company can pay its interest. So in that case, the company can borrow more. The debt component is more in the high growth period. So the debt is B is 1.5 divided by 2.5. Equity is E is 1 divided by 2.5. How much comes? 1.5 divided by 2.5. 60/40. So 0.6, that is 60%. 0.4, that is 40%. Okay. So the WCC is weight, that is 9.75 into 0.6 plus 18.5 into 0.4. So how much comes? 9.75 into 0.6, 18.5 into 0.4. What's the value? What's the value for? What is that value?
5.85 plus 7.4.
Yeah, 5.85 plus 7.4. Total how much comes? 13.45. 13.25. So that is the weighted average cost of capital for high growth period. Then we need to calculate weighted average cost of capital for stable growth period. Stable growth period. Okay. So the cost of debt assumed as a pre-tax 14%. It will be 14%. The first one is 14%. Okay. And then cost of debt 14% minus 1.35, that is 0.65. 14% into 0.65. How much comes? 14% and 0.65. 14% 0.65. What's the value? 9.1. 9.1. Then cost of equity is same, that is RF plus beta into RM minus RF. The risk-free rate is 11%. 11% plus beta is 1. RM minus RF is 6. So it will be during high growth period will be 0.5 into 9.1 plus 0.5 into 17. How much comes? 0.5 into 9.1 plus 0.5 into 17. What's the value? What's the value?
13.05.
13.05. So you can put 13%. You can put 13%. Okay. So any clarification, anybody in computing WACC? In computing WACC, any clarification, anybody? Pranit Kumar 502077. Pranit Kumar,
Yes, sir.
understand? Hello? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Jacob Subhash 2060. Jacob Subhash 2060. You understood? Jacob Subhash, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Jacob Subhash, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Unmute your video.
I have unmuted the video, sir.
You unmuted. 1 minute. Where are you? Okay. Okay. Jofin Jos, you understand? 2064? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Roby Matthew 2080? Understood?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll go to the next one. Next step, the computation of FCF. Computation of FCF. Computation of FCF. Step 1. Computation of FCF, step 1. So first one, we need to write the particulars. 0 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we need to get for the residual value. Residual value, 5th year onwards. First you start with revenue. Revenue is, what is the revenue? Revenue is 2000 million. Okay, so revenue is 2000, it is increased by 20%. So 2000, 20%, 2400. 2400. Then again increased by 20%. Second year, how much comes? Second year? Second year? 2400, 20%. 2400, 20%, how much comes? 2880. Then 2880, 20%. 2,880, 20%. How much comes?
3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 20%. 3, 4, 5, 6, 20%. 4,147.2. Then fifth year onwards, residual value, that is fifth year onwards. Fifth year onwards. Fifth year onwards, 4147.2 plus 10% because it is increased by 10%. So add 10% in that. Add 10%. How much comes? 4,147.
4561.92.
4561.92. 4561.92. Okay. Then second one. Second one, EBIT. EBIT is earnings before interest and tax. EBIT is 250 million. EBIT is 250 million. So 250, 20%. So 300. 300. 300, 20%. 360. Okay. 360. 360, 20%. That is 432. 432, 20%. 432, 20%. It is, how much comes? 518.4. Then 518.4, 10%. 518.4, 10%. How much? 570.24. 570.24. Okay. Then third one, EBIT into 1 minus T. Okay. EBIT into 1 minus T, that is 250 into 0.65. 0.65. 250 into 0.65. That is 250 into 1.35. So 250 into 0.65. So how much comes? 250 into 0.65. 162.5. 300 into 0.65. 300 into 0.65. How much? 195. 360 divided by 360 into 0.65. 360 into 0.65. 234. 432 into 0.65. 280.8. 518.4 into 0.65. 518.4 into 0.65. 336.96. 570.24 into 0.65. 570.4 into 0.65. How much comes?
370.65.
370.656.
656.
So 0.66. 0.66. Okay. Now this is the first one. I mean, from this we need to subtract changes in capital expenditure and changes in working capital to get free cash flow. So first you get changes in capital expenditure. The fourth one is changes in capital expenditure. Changes in capital expenditure. As per the base year information, capital expenditure is 200, depreciation is 120. So the net capital expenditure is 80. 200 minus 120, 80. Okay, 80. So 80 is increased by 20%. So 80 plus 20%, that is 96. 96. Okay, so 80, how do you get? Capital expenditure minus depreciation, 200 minus 120, that is 80. 80 increased by 20%, that is 96. 96 increased by 20%. How much? 96 increased by 20%. $96 increased by 20%. How much comes?
115.2.
115.2. Then 115.2 into 20%. 115.2, 20%. Okay.
138.2.
138.2. 138.2, correct?
24.
138.24. Okay. Then 336.96. Sorry, 138.24, 20%.
165.88.
165.88. Now, when you look at the fifth year onwards, as per the case, as per the previous case, and as per this case also, the capital expenditure are offset by depreciation, because change in capital expenditure is neutralized by depreciation. That means there is no change in capital expenditure. There is no change in capital expenditure in this particular case. So, dash. There is no change in capital expenditure, because which are all capital expenditure change is neutralized by depreciation. So, there is no change. So, you put nil. Okay, you can put nil. Then,
Sir, can you just explain that point once more, sir?
Yeah.
The last one.
the last one, as per the previous case, the change in capital expenditure are offset by depreciation. That means whatever the change in capital expenditure, that change is given for depreciation. Okay, that means if it is increased by 10%, for example, the stable growth period is increased by 10%. So 10% means 165.88. So 165.88, 10% how much? 165.88, 10% how much? Anybody? 165.88, 10%. How much comes? 16.6 something. So 16.6 that we charge for depreciation. So 16.6, depreciation is 16.6. So that gets neutralized. That gets offset. That means what? 165.88, same thing we are continuing for the next year. So there is no change in capital expenditure. We are not writing how much is the, capital expenditure. So change, whatever the change in capital expenditure, it is offset by depreciation. So there is no change. So dash. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then next one, fifth one, change in working capital. Change in working capital. Working capital is a function of revenue as per the case. Working capital is a function of revenue as per the case. So revenue is as a percentage revenue, it is 20%. It is given 25%. Okay. So as per the base year information, 20% of revenue. Okay. So that means 20% only. Please kindly change 20%. Everywhere 20%. Not 25%, 20%. 20%. Okay. So 20% of the revenue. So 20% revenue is what? 400. So 400 is your working capital. That is, you can put bracket. Okay, that is a base year working capital. Base year working capital is 400. Okay. Now, what is the first year working capital? First year working capital is 20% of 2,400. So 20% of 2,400 is what? 480. 480. So what is the change in working capital? That is, change in working capital is 80. Change in working capital is 80. Got it? That is 480 minus 400. That is 20% on 2400 minus 20% on 2000. All of you got it? All of you understood? We are not writing working capital, we are writing change in working capital. We are writing change in working capital. How much is the change in working capital every year? Okay? So the first year, the revenue is 2,400. So 2,400, 20%. That is the working capital. That is 480. 20% of 2,400 is 480. Minus 20% of the previous year revenue. The previous year revenue is 2,000. So 20% of 2,000 is 400. So 480 minus 400 is 80. All of you understood? Hello? Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, for next year onwards, second year onwards, you can just add 20%. Because change, you need not calculate as we have done. You can just add 20%. So 20% is 96. 96. Then 115.2. Then 138.24. Correct? Correct, no? Hello? Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you come to the fifth year onwards, kindly don't add 10%. Kindly don't add 10% because the revenue changes. So we will have to calculate manually. We will have to calculate. So how do we calculate? That is 20% of 20% on 4147.2 minus 20% on 20% on 4561.92, 4561.92, 20% on 4147.2. How much comes? 20% on the current year. 20% of current year is what? 4561.92 revenue. Minus 20% on previous year revenue. 20% previous year revenue is 4147.2. Okay, so 20% on 4561.92 minus 20% on 4147.2. How much comes? What's the value? What's that value? How much comes?
82.944.
82.94, correct?
Yes, sir. 82.944.
94, okay. So now we can calculate the FCF. So FCF is 3 minus 4 minus 5. 3 minus 4 minus 5, that is EBIT into 1 minus 0. Year, base year, you cannot calculate. You cannot calculate for base year. The first year will be 195 minus 96 minus 80. How much comes? 195 minus 176. 176. It is 19, no? Correct? Is it 19?
Yes, sir.
19. The first year is 19. Second year, you can add 20% to there. You will get the answer. Second year, how much comes? Second year. Second year, how much comes?
22.8.
Huh?
22.8.
22.8. Next one. Next one.
27.36.
27.36. Then fourth one. Fourth one.
32.88.
32.88. Residual value 370.6. 370.66 minus 82.94.
287.7.
287.7.
72.
287.7. Okay. This is the FCF calculation. The FCF. Now calculate the present value of cash inflow during high growth period and present value of cash inflow during the stable growth period, as we have done for the previous case. That will give you the value of the company. So we can just calculate that. We can finish that. Okay, can finish that. So step 3. Step 3. That is present value of cash flow during high growth period. That is 90 present value of FCF during high growth period plus present value of cash inflow, present value of free cash flow during stable growth period, and both. That is 19 divided by, what is the WACC for the high growth? WACC for the high growth, how much comes? WACC
13.25.
13.25, that is 1.1325 per 1 plus 22.8 divided by 13125.2 plus 27.36 divided by 1325 per 3 plus 32.88 divided by 1325 per 4 plus, okay, this is the first one, first stage. The second stage, you'll have to calculate the residual value. That's what we call continuing value. We'll have to calculate the continuing value. So how do you get that? 287.72 divided by WACC minus G. WACC minus G. So WACC minus G. WACC is how much? What is the stable growth WACC? 13.13%. So 0.13 minus 0.1. 0.13 minus 0.1 into 1 divided by, that is 1.1325 per 4. 13125 per 4. So we'll have to use WACC of the stable growth period, I mean high growth period, that is 13.25. Okay. So add both, we will give you that will give us the value of the company. Okay. So I hope all of you understood. We wish you all the best. So we'll see you in the next session. Thank you.